Hey guys, this is Millie and I am at the Stinky Body Lab in Louisville, and I've got Jimmy, the owner of Stinky Body, here with me today. I have two important questions that I want to talk to Jimmy about. First, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Is it good for me or is it bad for me? And second, snacking. I know everybody here who's watching has probably snacked at different times of the day. Good snacks, bad snacks. So I kind of want to get a little bit clarification on snacking. Is it good for me or is it bad for me? So, hi Jimmy, how are you today?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Excellent. Well, you know, I started the Transform program. Today is my first day of getting healthy and lean and working towards a brand new lifestyle. So I'm really excited about it. Thank you so much. So, my question, breakfast, is it good? Is it bad? What do you want to share with people about breakfast?
This is kind of an age-old debate. A lot of people don't know, should they eat breakfast, should they not eat breakfast? Here's the quick answer.
Okay.
What does breakfast mean? Breakfast means you're breaking your fast. When you eat dinner and then you go to bed, that whole time until you wake up the next morning, you're fasting. And there's so many benefits to fasting. But what time you actually, once you wake up, what time you actually put something in your mouth, that's not as important as what you're putting into your mouth. Okay. Now, the typical American will put in eggs, bacon, toast with jam, things like that. That'll be the first thing. And all of those things that I just mentioned, they inflame the body. They're actually causes inflammation. There are three things that causes inflammation as soon as you put it into your body. Number one is any animal product.
Okay.
Just because of the triglycerides, the cholesterol, the fatty acids, they will inflame the body. So those of you who have aches and pains, this is something you just don't want to do, is cause more inflammation. Second thing is sugar. And so like jams and anything that has sugar, even if you do smoothies and you do like cereal or granola bars, anything with sugar, unfortunately, even if it has oats and stuff in it, the sugar causes inflammation in the body. And the last thing would be like that bread. Unfortunately, a lot of the bread,
even the whole wheat, the Oro wheat, the good bread with 9 grains and all that stuff.
Toast with butter on it, I love. But it wasn't like this 50 years ago. But now most of the bread that you buy in the stores causes inflammation in the body. So it's just don't do that. Because what you first put into your mouth, the first thing in the day, is what sets the stage for the entire day.
Yeah.
So what can you do if you're the kind of person who says, I wake up and I want to eat or drink something? Put in alkalizing things, and because that lowers your inflammation, it lowers the bad bacteria. You benefit from the fast that you just did from the sleeping from the evening, and you can have a much better day.
Okay, interesting. So tell me though, for me personally this morning, I was ready to leave the house by 8 o'clock, and that's when it hit me. I'm hungry. My tummy, my stomach said, feed me, and I got hungry. So I'm doing everything I can to resist that urge. And I know it's more a mental thing than a physical thing. So what advice do you have for me or anybody who's on any fitness journey or any diet program or anything? When they are hungry, what do they need to know? How do they resist?
Just gorge. Eat as much as
No.
Really, the first, I believe, one of the first steps to getting healthy, not just even physically, but also mentally as well, is making a shift in this one thought that most Americans have. And I'm American. We live in the best country in the world. However, we live in a country where capitalism, where people are allowed to sell you stuff that harms you, as long as it doesn't kill you. We're allowed to sell things that harm people. And unfortunately, the food industry is very good with their marketing. They have conditioned us to believe that hunger is a bad thing. Why? Because they want you to reach for their snacks, their chips, their pretzels, their fries. And I believe this is one of the greatest issues with Americans today, because over 77% of Americans have diabetes, have heart disease, have obesity.
Yes, we all
have
know someone.
Depression.
Yeah.
You know, they're epidemic proportions. And so one of the reasons I believe is because of this thought that hunger is a bad thing. And hunger is not. And here's why. There are a few very important benefits that happen when you're feeling the sensation of hunger. One of the most important ones is growth hormone. When you're feeling hungry, there's a hormone that's produced in your body. It's called ghrelin. It's your hunger hormone. But with ghrelin, also growth hormones produced. Now, what is growth hormone? Growth hormone is what, if your knees, your cartilage in your knees, it repairs it, it revitalizes it. In your spine, the skin, which is the biggest organ in your body, it makes it more brighter and shinier. Growth hormone is important to stay young. It's like God gave us this mechanism innately within us to stay younger.
So I'm only producing HCG when I'm sleeping and when I'm hungry?
HGH, human growth hormone.
I'm only producing
Don't worry, a lot of people get it wrong.
HGH when I'm sleeping and I'm hungry. Is that right?
The three main most powerful times that your body will produce growth hormone: the anti-aging hormone, like the fountain of youth hormone.
Nice. I like that.
The 3 times is when you're in deep REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep. It's like when your eyes are fluttering. That means you're in a deep sleep. Growth hormones produced. Second is when you're doing a certain type of exercise. We call it interval training, the kind that we do here at STINKYBODY. Growth hormones produced. But the third powerful time is when you're feeling hungry for at least 2 hours. So if you're allowing yourself to feel hungry for at least 2 hours, growth hormone is going to be produced. You're going to stay younger. Your cartilage, your connective tissue, your skin, your organs, yes, less stiffness, all those things. Me personally, I love the feeling of hunger because
nobody loves the feeling of hunger. What are you talking about?
When my stomach feels like it's small, I love that, don't you?
Okay, that's a good feeling, I suppose.
But I also know that the benefits, and and I know that it's helping me stay healthier and younger. So I actually don't eat anything until around noon. Sometimes I don't eat my first meal until 3 p.m., and I love that for me. But this is one of the things that if you are really wanting to get healthy, shift that thought and start enjoying the feeling of hunger instead of thinking, oh no, I have to eat for something. I have to reach for something. I have to eat something.
So I need to get my beauty sleep so that I can produce that HGH hormone, right? And I need to allow myself to be hungry so that I can produce more of the HGH, and I need to come work out.
Well, and there are people who start to feel lightheaded if they don't eat for a duration of time.
Right.
They get a little shaky. They might get a headache. Now, what I'm finding is that most of the time when you're feeling those symptoms, most people think, oh, my blood sugar's low. And that just simply isn't true most of the time. Most of the time, it's not because of their blood sugar. I know a lot of people might reach for snacks or eat because they think they're keeping their blood sugar high or normal. But what I'm finding is that most of the time, you're lacking 3 minerals. And these 3 minerals is what controls like your muscle control, your heart, and your mental clarity and things. And these are 3 minerals, but we call them electrolytes.
Yeah, Gatorade.
No. That's like the worst thing for you.
Okay.
But
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
In so many levels, it's like the worst thing. But potassium, magnesium, and calcium. So these are 3 minerals, electrolytes, that most Americans, it's not new news. All the experts all the data shows that the typical American don't get enough of these on a daily basis. And so that when you replenish those electrolytes, that jitteriness or and that faint feeling, all of that goes away. And what it does though, and this is a beautiful part, is it makes you want to get up and move. It makes you want to exercise. And that's just when you refuel these elements. So what I do is I will actually buy a powder, an electrolyte powder that has good ingredients in it. And that has a bunch of other stuff too, but I'll put it into water, mix it up literally in 60 seconds. So I'll do that like kind of midday, and then I'm back to clear thought and everything is good.
So you think if I'm feeling hungry, I should have a little bit of electrolyte to kind of make that next 2 hours feel less hard?
Well, yeah, and it doesn't even matter, like it's not just about, satiating, fulfilling that hunger. It's so much more than that, because the electrolytes are not just for energy, it's also for heart health, because your heart's a muscle.
Okay.
And these minerals are really important to keep your blood flowing good, your muscles, your heart, everything working properly. So it's just something you should take on a daily basis, not just because you're feeling faint.
Okay, so that leads me to my next question. Is snacking good or bad for me? I know everybody snacks from time to time. Would you say there's a better snack than a different one, or what do you have to say about snacking in general?
Well, first of all, there's a good answer and a bad answer.
Okay.
There's a good news and bad news. Which
Okay.
do you want? Do you want the good news or bad news?
Okay, give me the bad news first, and then we can end it with the good news. How's that?
Regarding snacking, anytime you put anything in your mouth, it doesn't matter what it is, it spikes your insulin. And right now, over 77% of Americans have insulin resistance or diabetes, meaning that their body's not processing sugar properly. So every time you put something, and one of the reasons is because we're putting something into our mouth too often. Every time you put something in your mouth, insulin's spiked, and the more you do that, it decreases the sensitivity of insulin. And so just snacking across the board is something you should minimize or not do. But most people snack because they're bored, or they're just this habit, or they're down, or they're feeling sad, and so they put something in their mouth that kind of helps them emotionally. But also, a lot of people reach for something because they're addicted to the compounds that's in those, like French fries, chips, cookies. And that's one of the things that causes unhealth in this country, is too many people are reaching for something. But like I said in the first question, is if you shift your thinking to allowing yourself hunger because it's anti-aging, it's what's really good for you. And if you stop snacking, you'll really make your insulin powerful again, so that you won't have, likelihood for diabetes and other problems that come with that. But one of the things, if you feel like you absolutely need to put something in your mouth, then what I'm going to say is not inflammatory things. Sugar is the most inflammatory, animal products. So just don't put those kind of things in. Anything processed, like pretzels and things like that, don't put those in. But, get celery with peanut butter. Those things like that, like carrots, or these whole foods that are alkalizing to the body, that really keep you healthy. So I would do that. Okay,
that's a better choice. All right, I like it. So, Jimmy, is there one piece of advice?
You got a lot of questions, by the way. You're asking me all these questions. I don't know if viewers want to listen this long.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, are you being serious? I thought people wanted to know this.
I'm just kidding.
Everybody wants to know. Okay. Is there one piece of advice that you think every single person needs, whether they're watching or if somebody wants to, if they get the information, they want to share it with, their brother, sister, mother, father? What is one piece of information that you can share?
There's so much, but here's what I'm going to say. You're magnificently designed. Your body is magnificent. It has so much healing power, so much health power, so much strength power. You were designed by an amazing God. This is something I want you to know, because you have the ability to get healthy. You have the ability to fix a lot of the issues that's going on with your body. And if you learn the science, the truth, and you understand it and you apply it, you can have lifelong health, both physically and mentally. So
that's great advice.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for chatting with me,
You're
and
welcome.
I hope we can chat again. I hope we
course.
can do another informative chat maybe about those addicting foods, because I thought that was really interesting and I want to know more about that too. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed our chat today. Again, I'm Millie with Stinky Body, and this is Jimmy with Stinky Body, and we look forward to seeing you again. Please like this video if it spoke to you, or if there's somebody you think that could benefit for some of this information, please share it with them and leave us a comment too. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.